Corey. Thank you for coming. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad to share the space with you for the next hour. My intention for the class was to be a little more gentle than perhaps I would normally teach. More of like a gentle class tonight. And a little bit of focus on the hips, I'm thinking. So when you're ready, we're going to start off actually on our belly. We're going to move to our belly. Let your legs be wide. And then stack your forearms and rest your head on your forearms. You might begin to soften your eyes and just take some time to transition all of your energy to the practice in front of you. Take some time to acknowledge what you might be bringing to your mat. Recognize any thoughts, any anxieties or fears running through your mind or body. And take a moment to recognize what is true for you and what do you need to do as we move to nurture your body and your heart. You might begin to observe the feeling of your body as you breathe, maybe expanding the abdomen into the floor as you inhale, maybe gently noticing the abdomen relaxing as you exhale. And we're not trying to manipulate or force the breath. We're meeting ourselves just as we are here. And over time, you might begin to develop a rhythm of breath that is useful for you. Evenly taking air and evenly releasing air. And you might take a moment to create an intention or a quality that you would like to harness or witness. Perhaps infusing your intention into your body and letting it be your anchor for the next hour. We're slowly going to take the legs back together, plant your hands by your ribs, and just start to find a few shoulder rolls, rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. And then we'll engage all of the muscles of the back. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And with little effort in your hands, start to lift your chest. So we're looking forward using the strength of our back to lift. And then returning the body back down. You might link this movement with your breath. We'll move 3 more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Moving at your own pace. And on your third time, you might push the hands into the floor a little bit more, lifting the chest, pausing here, breathe. And then float the torso down to the floor. Take your hands wider than your mat. We're tent the fingers down. Just find a little bit of a wide cobra. Inhale, shoulders roll back, torso lifts. And then exhale, draw your left shoulder into the middle, look to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale, right shoulder moves inward. We look to the left. Inhale, unwind. And switch. Letting your breath carry you into these shapes. And when you are complete on both sides, move all the way back down. Bend your knees, rock your feet back and forth. And then plant your hands by your ribs, release your legs, press into the floor, and arrive in a table shape. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. I'm going to tuck my toes tonight. Little extra support in the knees. And then we'll find that motion called cat-cow, letting the belly lower, rolling the shoulders back, sending the chest up, and pushing into the floor the whole time as you round the spine, draw your ribs in towards your belly. Moving in between these two shapes. Maybe I find it really useful to let out sound with my breath. You might try a gentle hum as you exhale. And then when you exhale, shift back to wisdom pose, child's pose. Inhale, table. And exhale, child's pose, shifting back and forth, awakening any extra tension in the back. And then this time, we'll just find a few circles with our body. In child's pose, shift over to one side and up to table. Then pivot the torso over to the second side and back to the heels. And then find a neutral position. Reach your right leg behind you and take weight over into your left hand. You might pivot the left shin off of the mat and then extend the right arm up, finding a supported side plank. Keep pushing that left hand into the floor and then perhaps lift the right leg behind you. Flex your foot. Inhale, reach your right arm over your head, and exhale, float the whole body back down. Arriving in neutral, switch sides. Right shin off the mat, left leg long. Inhale, left arm lifts. Finding strength in the upper body and then balancing the back body. Lift the left leg, flex your foot. Breathe here. Inhale, lift your arm over your head and then circle the torso back. Table. Inhale, right arm reaches forward, left leg reaches back. Exhale, coil your spine, draw your elbow into your knee, round your back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coil. One more. Inhale, pause, breathe here. And then replace hand, replace the knee, switch sides, left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale, exhale, coil. Guide the body inward. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Two more. And pause. Release your hands, release your knee, and walk the hands forward, finding downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, shifting the pelvis up and back. And here you're welcome to take any organic movement you like. Maybe one knee bends and then the other. Maybe you rock your hips back and forth. And then take some time to be still. Evenly press through your hands and your feet. Inhale, right leg rises straight back. Point the toes down and then exhale, step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms over your head. Exhale, guide the hands down through your chest. And we're gonna move like that 3 more. Inhale, guide the arms up. Exhale, guide the hands down. Perhaps it's useful to you to imagine carrying your intention up and then guiding it back down into your heart space. One more. Plant the hands down on the floors, lift your back leg and step to plank. Strong body here. And then downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees and step to the top of the mat. From here, chair. Inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms up and sway the arms back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's stand up. Inhale. And exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Take a moment to arrive in a mountain shape. Feel the beating of your heart, the pace of your breath, and the temperature of your skin. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, right leg steps back. Lower the knee down and inhale, arms overhead. Just for a moment. And then we float the hands back down. Lift the back leg, step to plank. And then lower your knees, bend your elbows, and come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, Shoulders roll back. Use the strength of your back to lift the chest. Exhale to the floor. 2 more times with your breath. Keeping the legs pressing down the whole time. Beautiful. Okay, press into the floor, up through table, and downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises, point your toes down, and then step the left foot forward. Right knee lowers to the floor. Inhale, arms circle up. And exhale, guide the hands down through your heart space. 2 more, excuse me. And when you're complete, plant your hands, lift your back knee, step to plank. And from plank, downward facing dog. Here, lift your heels, bend your knees, and walk forward. Chair, bending your knees, sitting your hips low, reach your arms above you. And again, sway the arms back, exhale. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale. 1 more. Stand up, circle the arms over your head, inviting your intention in and carrying it down to your heart. Inhale, arms circle above you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. The hands plant down, left leg reaches back. Lower your knee to the floor. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, return hand to the floor, lift the back leg. Move through plank. An optional vinyasa, moving the torso down to the floor, finding a gentle back bend, if you choose. And then we'll meet in downward dog. Pausing there, recognizing that you are breathing, and recognizing that you are safe. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step the right foot forward. This time we keep our knee lifted, high crescent lunge. Here you might imagine drawing your right hip back and pushing your left hip forward until you find this even, balanced position. Interlace the fingers behind the back, perhaps widen the collarbones, and then fold over your thigh. Stay here and breathe. Reach your arms in front of your head and then down to the floor. Left hand stays. Inhale, right arm reaches out and up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. And this time we'll unwind the shape and find a high lunge. So I kind of like to windmill my right arm back, down by my hip. And as I unwind, I strengthen my legs, lift the arms over the head, and all the way back down. Step the left leg forward, forward fold. Pause here, Bend your knees as much as you'd like. Maybe sway back and forth. Open and close your jaw. Recognize what you might be holding on to. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Plant your hands, walk your feet back to plank. Lower your knees, side plank to the left. Right leg reaches long, inhale. Breathe here. And return the body down to table. And over to the right side. Right shin might be off of the mat, left leg reaches back. And we find a little strength. Release, unwind. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So here, imagine you're spinning your arm bones out, finding a little more room in between your arms and your head. Inhale, left leg rises. And exhale, step the foot forward. High crescent lunge. Take your hands to a place that feels sustainable. Maybe your hips, maybe your chest, maybe over your head. And then equalize the hips by drawing the left hip back, right hip forward. Take the hands behind you and fold the torso over your left leg. Release your arms and plant your hands. Right hand stays down. Inhale, left arm lifts up and towards the ceiling. And release. Left hand down to the floor. Engage the core. So really push the hands down. And then step the left foot back to plank. Lower your knees, shift back to child's pose. I'm going to wrap my arms back towards my heels. Let my forehead come down to the earth. Check back in with the quality of your thoughts, the rhythm of your breath, and the feelings inside of your body. Three more steady breaths. Go ahead and unwind your arms. Arrive back into all fours, hands and knees. Go ahead and find the block and take the block in between your thighs. We're going to squeeze the block inward, tuck the toes, and lift downward facing dog. Keep drawing the block inward. Rotate your arm bones out. And then adjusting the body, inhale, rolling out to plank. Keep squeezing that block. Shift to downward dog. Coil the spine and rotate back. Then inhale, lower your knees. Keeping the sensation in between your thighs, you can remove the block. And transition back to downward dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Look forward, find the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Let's stand up together, anchoring down through the feet as we reach our arms up and inviting them down through the heart center. Go ahead and reach your right leg back and pivot the toes a little bit to the left. Both toes track forward. And we're gonna fold forward and down. Hands to your hips, reach your torso forward. And then lower the hands down to the floor if you like. Keep a gentle bend in your knees. And I'll invite you to shift your weight forward and back on your feet. Just playing with your center of gravity and then pausing in a place that feels comfortable for you. Halfway lift. And then perhaps find a twist. Take your right hand down or your left hand down and reach the other arm up. Release, planting your hand and lifting your other arm up. Imagine you're rotating through the rib basket and not the lower back. So you're working hard to keep the lower back even. And return the torso down. Hands come up to your hips. Squeeze your legs. Imagine the block is there. And lift all the way up to stand. Point your right toes to the back of the mat. Bend into your right knee and adjusting your feet, finding this warrior two shape. So your front heel is kind of bisecting your back arch. And then there, our arms might reach off to the sides. And we'll just find a steady flow here. Inhale, reach your arms above you, lengthen your right leg. And then exhale, reach back into the shape. Inhale up and exhale back. One more. Pause. Pivot the toes back, the right toes back, and shift the left toes forward. Bend into your left knee. Press into the outer back foot, and then reach your arms out in front of you. Off to a T, finding space across the chest. Inhale, lengthen the left leg, draw the arm bones up. Exhale, warrior two. Two more times. This time, pivot the hands all the way down to the left and step the left foot back. Lower your knees, bend your elbows, come all the way down onto your abdomen. Bhujangasana, cobra. Inhale, shoulders roll back, chest lifts. And we'll stay here. Remember to breathe. And slowly come all the way down to your belly. Take a moment to relax. Let the arms move to wherever is comfortable. And now we'll reach our arms. Well, one arm. Right arm is going to come forward. And we're going to cross the left arm over our chest and over to the right. So your palm is lifted up towards the ceiling. And then you might recruit a blanket or block to soften your head back down onto. Notice any extra tension held in your shoulders, perhaps around your face or your ears. And welcome the body to safely let go. Reconnect with the feeling of your breath moving throughout your body. Perhaps noticing how the body expands or softens with every breath. One more breath here. And ever so gently begin to unwind your arms, taking a moment just to pause and be still. And switch. Reach your left arm forward and cross your right arm over the chest and over to the left. Then you might just check back in with your environment, recognizing any sounds, any tastes in your mouth or temperatures on your skin. Take this time to reorient your brain to your practice. And stay here for one more breath. Begin to unwind the arms. Take the hands by your ribs, push into the floor, lift up through table, and then to plank, adjusting so you find a strong, sturdy plank. And then slowly downward facing dog, bending your knees as much as you like. Inhale, right leg reaches up, and you might bend your knee here. And then find a gentle pumping action with your foot. So drawing the foot close into your hip and then off out into space. One more time. And then neutralize the hip, reach the foot behind you, and step the foot forward. This time, lower your back knee and lengthen your front leg, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, or a half split shape. Do what you can again to invite in that equal action in your hips. And then spread your toes wide. From here, cross your hands over to the right, finding a little bit of a twist. Maybe close your eyes, reconnect with your breath. And then unwind your hands, bend back into your right knee. Lift your back leg and step to plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Bend into your knee and pump your foot out and back. And then inhale, reach your leg behind you. Exhale, step your foot forward. In between your hands, lower your right knee and lengthen your left leg. Toes lift up. We find a little bit of sensation along the hamstring and calf. And then go ahead and twist the shape, taking your hands over to the left side, spending a breath or two here. And begin now to release, unwind the twist, bend back into your front foot. And this time, just sweep the knee behind you. Go ahead and find a seated position. Taking a moment, we'll find those shoulder rolls again. Drawing the shoulders up to the ears. Maybe you tighten and tense your body here. And then as you roll back, you relax your body. From here, open your arms off to the T and cross the left arm over the right arm. Maybe stay here hugging your shoulders, or if you have this connection with your hands, you can stay there. Squeeze your elbows and then lift your arms a little bit. Become present with what is true for you, and become present with any extra baggage or judgment that you might be holding on to. Perhaps energy that is not necessarily yours, but others around you. Welcome this practice as a chance to be curious about yourself. Go ahead and open your arms and then switch, crossing your right arm over your left and finding a place to stay. Wherever you are, imagine lifting the arms just a little bit. One more slow breath. And release. And we'll find a seated cat-cow motion. So guide your hands down to your legs. Shift your weight back around the spine and tuck your chin. Then this time, draw the chest forward, lift the head. Exhale, round the body. Inhale, lift the body. Two more. And then return to a balanced position. Take your feet together and your knees out wide. Lengthen your spine, inhale, and exhale, fold forward and down. Spending some time here. Three more cycles of breath, allowing each breath to move freely throughout your body. And slowly unwind, taking your head right above your shoulders. And take your knees together. We're just going to wrap our arms around our shins, letting the head drop down. Extend your legs now out in front of you. Press your palms down by your sides, lift up out of your waist. Knit your ribs so you're bringing everything in and up, and then begin to fold forward. Trying to maintain this flat back. Take a deep breath in and exhale out your mouth. Engage your core and roll your shoulders down your spine. Imagine someone is touching the back of your head and you're pushing your head into their hand. And then we'll gently lift, keeping the spine all the way aligned. And when you're ready, I'll meet you on your back. You might cushion the head or with a blanket or any extra support. Bend your knees and cross your right ankle over your left knee. You're welcome to stay here or maybe lift the thigh in towards the chest. And you might notice a difference in sensation by flexing your toes, keeping your legs engaged. Recognize whatever sensations are true for you in your body. Maybe noticing a stretch around the outer right hip or the inner thigh. Or maybe we're working really hard in a different place in our body. Take some time to honor that. So, keeping this effort in the legs, we'll twist the shape. So, open your arms and then twist your right foot over to the left until it comes all the way down to the floor. Draw the belly button in towards the spine, and then slowly unwind the shape, coming all the way back through the center line, and then lower your left foot, your right foot. Pause here. Now cross the left ankle over the right knee and find whatever variation you'd like on this side. And if your eyes are gently closed, you might be focusing on the space behind your eyebrows. Or if your eyes are open, you might recognize shapes or colors around your space. Take a moment to name something that is true for you, and then bring your mind back to an intention, whatever quality you are focusing on in your practice. Keeping the effort in the legs, we'll open our arms and twist, drawing the left foot down to the right. Then pressing the left toes into the floor. One more breath. Begin to unwind. Release the right foot and the left foot. Take your arms by your waist and find a bridge, anchoring the heels down into the floor. Push into the floor, lift the pelvis up. And you might even start to roll the shoulders in and maybe find the hands somewhere behind the lower back. And then slowly carry your body down to the earth. We'll take our feet wider than our mat and twist the knees now to the right. If you're looking for extra sensation, then take the right foot on top of the left leg for a little more force down to the floor. When you feel complete, release your right foot and sway your knees back through the midline and over to the left. Become aware of all of the places between your body and the floor. Notice the shoulders pressing down, the legs and the feet, perhaps even part of the hip. Unwind, releasing the knees, and pull the knees in towards the torso. Maybe rock side to side. And from here, make any final adjustments. And then we'll arrive in our rest, our Shavasana. And that might look different for each of us. I'm going to rest in a seated shape, but you're welcome to lie on your back, getting as comfortable and cozy as you can. Using any blankets or pillows beneath your body. And when you arrive in a restful position, begin to let go of anything that feels like effort or work or judgment or expectation. Take this time as a chance to be present with your thoughts and present with your body. Soft lights around your eyes, your eyebrows. Relax your cheeks and your mouth. Let the weight of the body feel supported by the floor. And begin to invite the feeling of relaxation into your whole body, moving down the head, the throat, the arms, the chest and abdomen, relaxing the hips, the lower back, the legs, knees, all the way down to your feet. And I will let you know when it's time to come out of this. If your mind begins to wander away from the practice, gingerly bring it back to the ebb and flow of your breath. Noticing the temperature of the breath as you breathe in and out. From here, I'll invite you to bring your awareness back to the space around you, back to the feeling of the whole body resting in peace. Guide attention back to all four corners of your mat. And slowly begin to welcome in a little bit of gentle movement throughout your hands and your feet. And no, when there's no rush, you're welcome to move as slowly as you'd like. Start to shift the body over to one side of your mat. And when you're on your side, perhaps just rest here, taking a moment of gratitude for the earth beneath your body and the sky above your body. And at your own time, start to shift back into a seated position, aligning your head over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. And when you come into this seated shape, just take a moment to recognize perhaps all of the ways in which you feel different and recognize the conditions of your life just as they are. And from here, we'll close with a gentle breath practice. When you inhale, lower your chin down towards your chest. And when you exhale, lift your chin off of your chest, relax your shoulders. And we'll do 5 breaths like this. And when you feel complete, lift your head, guide your hands somewhere over your chest, inviting in the intention or quality that you created for your practice, inviting it into your heart. And I thank you for sharing your space with me. Have a good evening. May you be joyful, may you be at peace, and may you be free. Namaste.